I had watched a host of films from the 50s, be it Indian, Italian, French, Spanish, or anything. But till this point, I considered only Pothir Panchali and Bicycle Thieves as the most influential films of that era. I'm definitely not even talking about classical Hollywood films, cause they aren't films, they are mere storytelling. Don't spill the beans! The Young and the Damned. This masterpiece, directed by Luis Bunuel, is based on the theme of misery, which portrays the life of the uneducated Mexican kids who resorted to crimes as dangerous as murders to get a living. They were all poverty-stricken, and situation injected the criminal mindset in their head. The film beautifully portrays everything with the justified use of realism and surrealism. Let's take a deep into the storyline before we discuss in depth. The story starts with Jaibo, just another juvenile criminal of the lot. Supposedly the leader of a troop, escaping the jail and then spotting Julian, the one who sent him to jail. He kills Julian, though he didn't intend to, but then shuts Pedro's mouth, telling that he also may be proved guilty.
Vámonos antes de que se despierte. Así aprenderá a no ser chiva.
The scene after this is an iconic dream sequence, which is too good for its time. I will discuss it later in detail. Let's get back to the story. Pedro's mother had a very bad relationship with him, and this contributed to him joining the crime gangs too. His father had passed away 5 years ago, and all his earning he handed over to his mother. Pedro starts working as an apprentice to a blacksmith, and one day Jaibo steals a knife from there once he comes to meet him.
¿De mango de plata? No, señor. Pues aquí estaba. Se habrá caído.
Pedro is accused and he is taken to custody. This is when his mother's soft corner for him rekindles, but Pedro is sent to the farmhouse. There, he starts killing chickens, but the principal there was someone very understanding. He completely understood that what Pedro needed was faith and affection, and hence he handed over 50 pesos to him and asked him to bring cigarettes.
¿Qué esperas? Ándale.
¿Tiene usted mucho dinero, señor director?
¿Qué más quisiera yo?
Pues ese sistema pedagógico le va a salir un poco caro. Si le da a cada uno de los muchachos...
A cada uno no, porque cada muchacho representa un problema diferente.
But on the road, he came across Jaibo. Herein, we start with the climax, so I'm not gonna reveal anything. But for your information, an alternate ending to the film was suggested, which was merrier. I personally think that it could have made this entire story futile and made the aura of misery and destitution lose its essence. The actual ending, along with the fantastic visual representation, made this a classic indeed. It's believed to be an extended part of Italian neorealism, and hence it depicts the poverty, unemployment, misery with equal precision. The condition was such bad that even a blind man was homeless and had to work tirelessly to make ends meet. He needed help, and a kid in Pedro had to help him with his work for little money. Same goes with the man with no legs. Even he is looted by the gang of kids. Someone is blind, someone has no legs, a mother who doesn't love her child, gang of kids who are committing crimes regularly at an age when they're supposed to go to school. All this combined gives us the true picture latent behind the visible glamour of Mexico. Next up, while talking about the surrealistic approach, this iconic dream sequence has to be included. Let's have a look at some of it. Isn't this intriguing? I was absolutely in awe of this. The sequence depicted Pedro's thoughts after he saw Jaibo killing Julian, but he couldn't do anything. He was going through severe guilt feeling, and this simply showed us his messed up state of mind. The use of surrealism in such an effective manner, fitting with the narrative of the film, gives brownie points for sure. The music contributes in building suspense. The occasional violin tones fitted amazingly at the places which were supposed to give us an account of the prevalent poverty. Also, the particular music when Pedro went out of the farmhouse suited perfectly with redemption. The lighting was fantastic too. Motivated lighting was used, a technique largely used to dramatize the situation, like just before Jaibo stole the knife or Pedro's mother went to meet him in jail. You wanna see beautiful juxtaposition of shots? See this one.
Este es nuestro. ¿Por qué? ¿A poco lo compraron? Lárgate.
On one hand, it's the pile of wastes, showing destitution, misery, and just after that a fair is portrayed. People are having fun, the privileged exercising their privilege. Being very honest, the film makes it to my personal top 10 movies of all time. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. I didn't find a flaw. Be it the storyline, the direction, acting, music, lighting, everything was spot on. I request everyone to watch this, otherwise they will miss out on something which they shouldn't. Link in description. If you like the video, then please go and watch the film and maybe give a like and share with your friends to let them know of this treasure from the 50s. Until next time, goodbye.